Alright, here we go. So, this is actually take 3. If you have a look here, quit time player, quit unexpectedly. I hope this doesn't happen to me again. I was going for about 15 or 20 minutes talking about my stuff, and then the thing crashed. So I lost my work. I don't send those sorts of things. So here we are, back at personalserver.com. So I'll just click there, and that'll take me back to the home page. And let's start again. Here we go. So what I'm doing in this video log is talking about what I've been doing recently, and I've had only eyes for personalserver.com for a while. I've been working on it. The site's much better than it used to be, and I wanted to just talk you through some of the features that I've added, and if we get time I'll talk about what I'm going to do next. So this is my homepage. I had a report done by LUX, who's a usability consultant, and she did a great job and gave me a lot of really useful feedback on the site, and I've implemented all of her suggestions, and we have the home page that you see now. I'm going to commission her to do reports on every other page of my site, but at the moment we've done the home page. I think it needs more work. I think it needs to call out the demographic that we're targeting with our initial offering, and at the moment we haven't committed to a particular type of user. At the moment we're sort of focusing on everyone and anyone. So to that end, we got rid of a whole lot of text on the home page. This is the landing page for our ads, and it's the landing page if you come to our site. So we've got to try and keep our message focused and clear. And what we really want people to do is click on the sign up button and get started. But anyway, let me talk you through the home page. So we've got our link to personalserver.com up the top left here, and that's our branding. I haven't got a logo developed for the site yet. On the fav icon, I'm using the black brick one, and I haven't got a logo for personalserver.com. And frankly, I don't think I'm going to get one. I don't know how much it would add. I don't think it's necessary, and it's very clear. Our brand is that website, and that's what we want. We get everyone to the website, to the website, to the website. So, yeah, that's what I think we'll do there, is just keep the brand as www.personalserver.com. There's a whole heap of content in the site, but we've only got 6 pages here, and one of them's the login page, so it's really only 5 main links to keep focused. You have the home page, and then you have, why run a personal server, what you get on a personal server, sign up for a personal server, or get in contact with us. So they're sort of the main things that you probably we want you to do. We want you to know about why you want one. We want you to know what you get if you get one. We want it easy for you to sign up and become a customer, and we want it to be easy to get feedback. I'd really love to have people filling out my contact form and telling me what they thought. So that discusses what we call the nav bar, and then there's the jumbotron. And ours is pretty simple. We've got this tagline, the future of personal computing, and that's standard across all pages of our site. That's always up there, claiming to be the future. And maybe it is, and maybe it isn't, but I certainly hope that it is. We have breadcrumbs over here. Breadcrumbs tell you whereabouts you are in the site. I can give you an example quickly. I haven't discussed this, but let's just say you jump into a deep level of our site, which is about managed cloud. Then it tells you're in the managed personal server section, looking at the cloud servers. So that's how breadcrumbs work. If we go back home, we've also got next to the breadcrumbs these next and previous links. If you wanted to read our whole website, you could just keep clicking the next button here. Next article, get help using our site. So you just keep clicking next. Eventually you'll get to the last page and it'll say there are no more articles, you've read the whole site, well done. I use that feature, but I'll talk more about that a bit later. So tagline, breadcrumbs, navigation, search. with support for asterisks as wildcards. So my favorite example is JO*N, which matches John and join. And you see the search results for JO*N include the motivation, help, home, and colophon pages. So that's our search results, and that's how that works. It uses asterisks to match your content, which can be pretty useful. We'll jump back to the home page and keep looking at that because it's the main thing. We've got these graphics here in the right hand side of the screen, and I call these graphics bling. And our bling is courtesy, if I just mouse over that, Wikimedia Commons. So I use the Wikimedia Commons repository of 2-point-something million assets, most of which are graphics, and I just mine that and get things that look relevant. So this is a server computer that, you know, indicates we're all about servers. Interesting thing about the breadcrumbs, previous and next navigation, and the bling is at lower resolutions, like when you're on a smartphone or a tablet, and you haven't got a lot of screen real estate, those things just disappear, and that's using a technology or design paradigm called responsive design. And you'll see if I resize this window, eventually when it gets small enough, the breadcrumbs are gone, the bling is gone, the menu bar has wrapped underneath the logo. And if I make it even smaller, like what it would be if you were using a smartphone, then even the menu collapses into this drop-down menu. So if you're on a smartphone, the breadcrumbs are gone, the navigation links are gone, the bling is gone. It doesn't show anywhere on the page, and the navigation has turned into this drop-down menu here, which allows you to navigate the top navigation. So that's responsive design. It uses a design paradigm called mobile first, which is where we make sure that our site works well with mobile devices first, and secondarily, second is that it looks good on desktop. And with desktop, you get the bling, you get the breadcrumbs, because you've got the screen real estate to do it. So every page has a level 1 header. On the home page, it's welcome to the future. We hope so. A little soundbite introduction. Website aims to get you started with your very own personal server. Life is better when you have your own server and are in control of your digital life. And we used bold text there to emphasize the important bits, and then join the evolution of the net. So that's what we're hoping this is. This is the next big thing, personal servers. So there's types of personal servers, and you can have managed servers or do-it-yourself servers or cloud servers or hardware servers, and you can have them in combination. So that's what all of these are here, and we've used little play for managed, and cloud for cloud, and spanner for do-it-yourself, and hard drive for physical hardware. And you can mouse over any of these. Managed, have us manage your server for you. Do-it-yourself, configure your own server with our help. Cloud, rent a virtual server in a data center. Hardware, buy a physical server for your own premises. And then the combinations of those. So then managed cloud, have us configure and manage a cloud server for you for $50 a month or $500 a year, and so on and so forth for all of the other combinations. So we'll have a close look at those in a minute. But yeah, that's basically what the site is at the moment. I think it should probably call out our target demographic, but it doesn't at the moment. Probably will. This looks like a button because that's what we call our call to action. That's what we want people to do when they come to this website. We want them to get your new personal server today. That's where we want you to click. So we made it look important by making it a button. And then there's a link to let us know if you have any questions. So that's most of the homepage so far, but I'll just show you the footer. The footer is consistent across the whole site. Documentation on our site is licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution License. That basically means you can reuse our content, but you have to attribute us as the original author. So that's a link, and there's also down here the CCBY icon. That's a link to our license as well. So that's a graphical and textual indication of the license. Then there's some utility pages here, the help page, the sitemap, the colophon, and a link to back to top. If I click back to top, then boom, takes me back to the top of the page. Excuse me while I drink my beer. That's one of the fringe benefits of working from home, is you can hook into a beer before you finish work. Alright, so there's a little disclaimer thing here at the bottom of every page saying we don't make any promises that everything will work. We've got a link to our social media network over here, Facebook and Twitter. You can find us. Those links are on the bottom of every page. We've got a link over here to the W3C HTML5 validator, which can verify that the page you're looking at is web standards compliant. That's very important to me. I aspire to make sure every page on my website complies with web standards. And speaking about web standards, we use the latest version of the web technology here, and if you're using an old browser, particularly IE8 or earlier, our site won't work. You have to use a new web browser if you want to access our site. So that's just a policy we've taken. You know, in with the new, out with the old. Time to move on. So we did a copyright statement here. As you can see, that's my name in lights with the et al, which is Latin for et alia, which means and the rest. We started work in 2008. We've been working till 2014. It's copyright the developers. It's sponsored by Blackbrick. I'm not sure whether it should say sponsored there or provided by Blackbrick or sponsored by Blackbrick. I'm not sure. But and then it's got the little R, because Blackbrick is actually a registered trademark of our company, which is pretty cool. We've had a lot of money for that. And then the ABN there, you can hover over ABN and it'll tell you that it's the Australian business number. And you can click through to find us on the Australian Business Register and verify that we're actually a legitimate Australian company. We've got our terms of service and our privacy policy. So we'll get to all of those pieces, all linked from the bottom here in due course. So I've shown you the home page. It's very focused and simple. It uses sound bites. There's a lot of information compressed into this table here, because if you hover over elements, it gives you more information. It gives you a lot of options. You can choose about managed servers, do-it-yourself servers, cloud servers, hardware servers, or a specific combination of any of those. And that's it. So when you navigate our site, we had to pick an order for the content to be in, and the next page, if you go to the next page from the home page, it's actually help. Help is a pretty good place to get to with the site. We've got our little bling over here, which is a life raft, or what do you call those things? Clip art. Yeah, doesn't say. Life, not life jacket, life ring, safety ring. I'm not sure what you call that, but it means help. So help using our site. You can use access key 0. So let's talk about access keys briefly. I've set them up as standard across the whole site. I need to tweak it a bit. I've made access key 2 top of page, but I think I'm going to change that, and I'm going to make that access key B for back to top. And I had something else to put in there to replace 2, but I forget what it was. Anyway, access keys, they use these things called access key modifiers, modifier keys. On my system at the moment, which is a Mac running Firefox, it's Control Option plus the access key. So if I want to go to the home page, I press Control Option 1, and that jumps me to the home link and loads the home page. And you can get back to the help page by using access key 0, so I'll just press that there now, and that'll jump me back over to the help page. So the help page talks about our home page and says that it's a good place to get started on our site, and it most certainly is. It's not too busy. There aren't as many options on the home page as there could be, but that's because I want people to find specific stuff more than I want them to find other stuff. So there's a lot of content on our site that you'll just get lost in. So I'm still tweaking that sort of stuff. So I think we discussed breadcrumbs, and that they're available at the top right hand corner as long as your screen resolution is greater than 991 pixels. And the navigation links, which allow you to move forward and backwards between articles next and previous on the site. There's a sitemap. Sitemap shows you the whole website in one page, and it's all sort of lined out in recommended reading order. So if I just open that sitemap now, you will have a quick squiz at what's available. I'll probably zoom in on that later. So computer seems to be a bit sluggish. I really hope QuickTime doesn't crash on me again while I'm recording this video. Anyway, this is the sitemap. So we've got a little map bling thing going on over here, and below is a guide to our entire website. So this is the whole thing. This is everything there is to tell you: a home page, a help page, this sitemap page, why run a personal server, what you get on a personal server, cloud-based servers, hardware-based servers, managed cloud, managed hardware, do-it-yourself cloud, do-it-yourself Rackspace Ubuntu cloud, hardware, do-it-yourself, sign up, projects that we're tracking. That needs to be expanded, but we've got 3 there so far: Freedom Box, Diaspora, and Wedge. They're very promising personal server technology. We've started a collection of essays. There's one essay there at the moment called Privacy Online, which is about personal server privacy in the cloud and on your own hardware. So what you can expect, how privacy works on the internet, what you can and can't expect from it. Get in contact with us. We'd love to hear from you. If you got something to say, come and let me know. I would love to have as much feedback as I could get. Policies, so that's our terms and conditions. We've got a privacy policy, terms of service, content license, and attribution policy. And then we've got a colophon, which is about the construction and delivery of our website. So that's just the sort of end notes that talk about the copyright and affiliates and services and software that we use and all that sort of thing. There's a search facility. You can log in, you can log out, you can go to the admin section. I should probably hide that admin section if the user's not logged in and is not an administrator. Because if you click on it and you're not logged in, it'll just redirect you to the login screen. So I'm not logged in, you can tell because it says login. So if I go to the admin area by clicking on the admin link, it'll redirect me to the login page. Because I'm not logged in, I can't access the admin. Oh, look at this. I wasn't expecting to have to do this. That's a bit of a trick. Oh, come on. My computer's a bit laggy here at the moment. Let's see if that works. Yeah. Alright, so I tried to access the admin section and it redirected me to the login screen. You can see my little security bling over here. That's pretty cool. Alright, so let's just close this window and we'll get back to the help screen, which I was talking you through. So I've shown you the sitemap. Search. I've done this so many times now I forget if I've shown you, but basically you can search all of the content of our site and you can use the asterisk as a wildcard. The search box is up here. Search, use asterisk for wildcard. So if you search for JO*N, that will match John and join, and you can see here motivation, help, home, colophon. So yeah, that's our search feature. It's kind of handy. Jump back to the help screen. More of my beer. Okay, so we've got help using our site, home page. This computer is really sluggish. I wonder if QuickTime's running out of disk space or something. I don't know. Okay, so there we've got search. We've got the content license. It says here most content on our website is available for use reuse or duplication under the terms of our content license. Links to the content license are available at the bottom of each page. You can jump to the license terms from any page on our site using access key 5. So just briefly, the content license is a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 unported license. Bit of a mouthful. It's abbreviated CC BY 30. And there's links to it if I just open up the content license page while my browser thinks about that. Gee, that's really sluggish. This video is going to take longer than it should because I'm spending my time waiting for my browser. Anyway, there we go. So the content on this website is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution, Unported License, blah blah blah, and you can click on that, and it'll load up the actual Creative Commons license. The gist of our Creative Commons license. There it goes. Yeah, too fast. You'll notice when this loads, it'll say please wait while you are transferred. And the transferred is a link to the page that you're going to, and there's this little loading icon, and then after the page is loaded it disappears and you see the loading, and you can see one tracker blocked. So the Creative Commons people are using web analytics software from a third party that's spying on me, and I've got a web plugin that helps prevent me from being spied on. You'll notice when I go to my website, there's no such thing because we don't spy on our users. So this is the Attribution 3.0 unported license. So you can get the lowdown on that license over here on this website, and that's it. So basically, you can reuse the content, but you have to attribute us. So we've got an attribution policy. If I'll just click on that. That'll jump us over to the attribution policy. There's me looking much younger and much handsomer than I do these days. And then we basically just say, look, if you want to attribute us, this is how you do it in hypermedia. Hypermedia is just a fancy word for has web links in it. So HTML, PDF, Flash. There's all sorts of hypermedia out there. HTML is the main one though. That's what websites use. So basically, that will look like this if you reference us, and here's a plain text way to reference us as the author. So that's the attribution policy, part of the content license. All these little things. So the copyright notice, I'm really pleased with the way copyright works on our site. Copyright is retained by the people who did the work, and they provide that under license to Blackbrick. So Blackbrick has all the utility in the content and software that it needs. It's allowed to use it in any way, independent of the developers. But the developers retain the rights to their work. So if the developers want to reuse elements of the software that they've written for us, they're entitled to do that. And I really think that's the way things should work. So that's the way we do it at personalserver.com. The copyright is owned by the developers. The developers license the content to the company. The company operates the software and can get new developers if it needs to modify the software in the future, and it's just a better, nicer, friendlier, cooler way to work than the heavy-handed, we own everything that you do sort of mentality that some organizations, probably most organizations have. So yeah, I don't do work except if I can retain the copyright to my work, because I don't want to be told that I can't reuse stuff that I've created in the past for other solutions when I'm developing solutions for my customers. And of course my customers benefit from that, because when I start work for them, I've got this whole massive amount of work that I've done before that I can call on, and I can just copy and paste it straight into their solution. So they actually get a benefit, and I can use anything that I do anywhere, and so can anyone who works for me. So yeah, good stuff. Copyright notice at the bottom of the page is to the individuals, the people, the human element. It's good stuff. Privacy policy. Now I saved myself at least $10,000, maybe $2,000 or $3,000, definitely. You get depends what sort of caliber of law firm you're thinking of engaging, but yeah, I got a quote for 10 grand to do my terms and conditions, so I decided to do them myself. So the privacy policy, I just wrote it from scratch. And I did a really good job, I think. And my privacy policy is great because the fact is, I care about privacy. I really respect my users' privacy. There's a whole lot of things that I do not do as a matter of policy. So I put them into my policy and I tell you, I do not do these things which undermine your privacy. I care about your privacy. Here's the deal. And I give it straight up to all of my users so they know. So we got a privacy policy, and you'll notice we've got these little simply boxes, which interpret the big paragraphs as sound bites. So I don't want to read you the whole privacy policy. That will take ages. So I might just use that simply soundbite stuff. So welcome. We care about your privacy. HTTPS everywhere. We use only the secure version of the web. No hot linking. We don't hot link content. If you're interested in hot linking, swing by and click the link and it'll tell you all about it. It's basically where one website uses an embedded resource provided by another website and information gets disclosed and it's not cool, you shouldn't do it. So I don't do it. It's not done on my site. No third-party ad networks, no third-party site metrics, meta refresh exit links. It's actually probably worth commenting on that just briefly. The meta refresh exit links are a neat hack and they break what's called the HTTP referrer header. When you click on a link from one website going to another website, the website that you go to gets told about the referring URL, so it tells you where you came from. And if you came from a site search, you might have some private information, like your search criteria in the URL, and you click on a link, and that'll get disclosed to the third party. So I don't think that's cool. So I use a thing called meta refresh exit links, and that gives me the opportunity to show, like, if I click on this HTTP referrer header, then it'll pop up in a new window, and you'll see a little loading screen that says, "Please wait while you are transferred." And then after you transferred, the page that you're going to will load. But the way that this goes through my exit page, "Please wait while you are transferred," you get the loading screen, which is an advantage. It's a better user experience, I think, telling them we're loading the page. And then when the page is loaded, bang, there it is. So the HTTP referrer header, beaten by HTML meta refresh. It's all a little bit technical, but it basically means when I link from my website to another website, I don't tell the website where you came from. And that's very cool, and it's very important for privacy, and it helps protect your information that you've given to me on my site, and I don't tell other people. So we don't put remote content in HTML email, which is used to spy on people pretty commonly. That's not cool. I don't like that. We don't do that. Cookies, there's two cookies that we use, a session cookie and a browser cookie. The session cookie, we use a session cookie so you can log into our site. That's how sessions are managed. If you're logged in, we need to know what session you're using. And we use a secret key to indicate that. And similarly, the browser cookie. We use a browser cookie so we can remember we've met you before. So if you come to our website, we allocate you a browser cookie. And if you come back to our website, you have the same browser cookie. And we go, oh, hey, there's someone's coming back to our website who's been here before. So that's how that works. Two cookies. Email. We just say here, we assume email is sufficiently secure and may include your private information in email we send to you. So any information that we have about you, we might put in an email that we send to you. And if you don't trust email, then you shouldn't tell us information you don't want in your email. Data we collect. Now, I've gone all out here and I've thoroughly audited what it is that we collect, and I've documented it so I can tell you everything we collect. So in simple terms, we collect data about every page you access on our site, but in particular the HTTP data. So you've got method, IP address, date, time, user agent, platform is operating system, platform version, browser version, referrer, where you came from, accept header, what content you can process, accept language, what language you want, URL, what page you want to see, browser cookie, when you were first seen, when you were last seen, how many times you were seen, whether it's verified, session cookie, same again. So that's a fair bit of HTTP data. And then there's the GeoIP data. We use your IP address to look up the following geographic data associated with your IP address. So we get content, country, region, city, postal code, latitude, longitude, and area code and DMA code. Now, frankly, area code and DMA code aren't linked because I have no idea what they are. They're in the database. They're provided by the service, but I think they're US-centric. I think that maybe area code is some sort of US telephone dialing code or something. I don't know what area code and DMO code, and I don't look at them. So, yeah, whatever those are, we collect them. We know what they are, but we don't. Sorry, we have them. We don't know what they are. And of course, we collect anything you tell us. So that, you know, that's just a bit of a catch-all to say if you tell us something, it's in our electronic systems, and we might disclose it. Here we go. So third-party disclosure. So we will provide your information to an incoming owner if we sell our business or assets. We may disclose your domain names to a DNS Whois database. We may disclose your IP address to a third party for GeoIP location purposes. We may disclose anything that we have about you to comply with the law. I really hope that doesn't happen. I wouldn't feel comfortable disclosing anything to the law. You know, if a court or a legal government agency or something got in contact with me, I would be disinclined to cooperate with them unless I was really certain that I was required to under the law. But I'm not going to promise to do that because that might be too expensive for me, and these things cost money. And then there's a comment on metadata collection. So we can't protect you from metadata acquisition. Metadata is the data about a communication, not including the content of the communication itself. For example, metadata includes who was talking to who, when, how much, how long, etc., but not specifically the content of the communication itself. So yeah, metadata, we can't protect you. All sorts of people can collect metadata. They know you were talking to us. They don't know what you said, but that's sometimes all they need to know is that you were in touch. And then there's affiliate referrals. So we tell our affiliates we sent you. So if you click through from one of our affiliate links, it'll indicate that we sent you, so that our affiliates can reward us for referring business. So that's it for the privacy policy. Pretty good privacy policy. Wrote it myself, just like I bought one. And then there's terms of service. Terms of service isn't really that interesting. I think the privacy policy was important because it's good to know how we protect your privacy when you're using our website. Terms of service is a little bit boring. But look, let's be thorough. Why not? I spent a fair bit of time writing this terms of service. And I really like my little Simply links. I'm running out of beer. That's not good. So I'm trying to load the terms of service page. Here it comes. Wow, my computer's running really slow. That's not cool. Look at the lag on that video in the top right hand corner. That's terrible. Alright. So let's just run through this very quickly. Services are provided by Blackbrick. Don't abuse our services or we will get cranky. That's a little bit twee. We may contact you from time to time. Don't access our services while driving. That's a note for our mobile users. You don't need a password protected account to access our services at this time. So we do it all via email at the moment. You don't actually need to have a login. We do support logins, but that's for system administrators to get access to web analytics reports and that sort of thing, comments, feedback. We care about your privacy, and there's a link to our privacy policy. Don't submit content that you don't have rights to. If you submit content, you're allowing us to use it. We may remove inappropriate content. Let us know if we're using your content inappropriately. Services may change or may be changed or discontinued any time without notice. Your account may be transferred to a new owner. No warranty is extended. Liability is limited. The laws of New South Wales, Australia apply, and these terms can be modified at any time without notice. That's it. That's our terms of service. The big thing that I sort of cared about was making sure it was cool for me to sell the accounts, because if someone comes along and offers me a bomb of money for personalserver.com, I think I'll sell out. Alright, so, but not necessarily, you know, I like this project, and if I can run it and turn it into a feasible business, I'll stick it out. You know, I'm not in a hurry to sell out, really. I just hope I can make it economically viable. I think there's a pretty good chance for that too. It's a solid idea. So there's a contact us section of the site. You can get in contact with us. Social media. So we have a presence at Facebook and Twitter. You can jump to our Facebook page from anywhere on our site using access key F, and our Twitter page using access key T. So if I just show you that, access key F, bang. Oh wow, look at the lag on this. Here it goes. Alright. So that's just transferring me using the exit link technology, which uses the HTML meta refresh, over to facebook.com/personalserver, and that's our personal server Facebook page. And you know, we've got one for Twitter as well, and that's all nice. Web Standards compliance, so I mentioned that earlier. We've got a link down the bottom of the page that links you through to the W3C HTML5 validation service, so you can validate any page on our site. And there's a note about the access keys you can use to access various features on our pages. I won't go through all of those because they're actually subject to change. I want to tweak them a little bit, but basically you press the access key in combination with the access key modifiers, and it'll automatically load that part of the site. So that's how that's how our help works. So I think we've covered everything in the help. Oh gee, this is really slow. This is embarrassing. My computer's slowing me down. So we've looked at the help. Now the next thing to look at is the sitemap. Now the sitemap maps out every last little piece and little corner of the site, which you don't get in the other navigation elements. There's navigation elements in the nav bar up the top here, and there's navigation elements in the bottom in the footer down here. But there's a whole lot of stuff that you have to find through the sitemap at the moment because it's not all linked in. It will be when I figure out how to do that most effectively. But at the moment I'm trying to keep our message pretty focused, so I don't clutter up the navigation with you know, links to our projects or links to our essays. Anyway, you can come by the sitemap. The sitemap's a pretty cool little feature, and it shows you how the whole website comes together, and you can find different things in here. Projects, Freedom Box, Diaspora, Wedge, they're different personal server technology that we're tracking. Essays, ultimately there'll be more essays. At the moment there's one essay about privacy online. We've got our policies are all linked in here. The colophon, which includes attributions, credits, that's search, login, logout, admin. So so that's the sitemap. The colophon, I guess we can swing by the colophon just briefly. Gee, I wish this was loaded a bit faster. Look at my little loading graphic, isn't that neat? Okay, and here's the bling over here. And note, if I resize, I think I've shown you this before, but this is a responsive design. If I resize my browser window, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, then bang, the bling is gone, the breadcrumbs are gone, and the content is all, you know, shown in a much smaller form factor. So that's our mobile first responsive design, yada yada yada, bada boom, bada bang, bada bing, bada boom. Okay. So yeah, I'll just quickly run over the colophon, which has some interesting information in it. I'm annoyed. I had 2 attempts at making this video, and the video crashed twice. So I forget what what I've said on this video versus what I said on the other videos, which I've deleted. Anyway, the colophon is the last page in our site, and it tells you who sponsored the development. Blackbrick has, and Prog Club will. It's a bit preemptive for me to put that there, but Prog Club's going to spend some money verifying some of our features, so it's listed as a sponsor, although it hasn't actually spent the money yet, but it will in the next couple of days. So then there's a copyright notice about how our developers own the software, and there's me up the top. I did pretty much everything, and there's Brock, who helped out a bit. Actually, I'm a little bit disappointed about how that worked out. Brock got way ahead of me and did all of this stuff, and then I started and everything was incompatible, so I only pinched a few little bits that Brock did, but he did help, and he did a very good job too. Yeah, not all of his stuff got integrated in the end just because of the way things worked out. And Alexi, who did the graphics for us, so thanks Alexi. And logos and graphics, this is just people we've pinched logos from on our site, and graphics providers, particularly Wikimedia Commons. I should probably put that up the top of the list, logos and graphics. Heaps of stuff from Wikimedia Commons. Software, so we just talk about the software we use to deliver our services. So we've got platform software, Ubuntu, Apache, MySQL, PHP, development software, NetBeans, Firefox, PHP Unit, front-end software libraries, JSPHP, jQuery, yada yada yada, services. So we use the following services: LUX, usability analysis. Can't recommend her enough. She was great. She made a big difference with her report, and it cost me $5. So yeah, best $5 I've spent in a long time. Rackspace hosting, Amazon Web Services, MaxMind, GeoIP, Google AdWords, Facebook advertising, and PayPal all provide services to us. And our affiliates, which we recommend, are Rackspace, Amazon, and Namecheap. So we recommend those people, those services, and when we refer you to them, we use our affiliate link. So if you buy something off them, we get credited for it, which is, dandy. So I think I've shown you pretty much everything there is to know about the site at the moment. Colophon, sitemap, help, navbar, breadcrumbs, navigation, search, copyright, colophon, terms of service, copyright, privacy, content license. It's all there. And this is the home page with the bling and the pretty focused messages. So in closing, this video is a pretty long video, and I've almost run out of beer. Yep, I've officially run out of beer, so I need to fix that, so I've got to be quick. Things that are going to be developed next: web chat, so I can chat to people who are using the site; demo.personalserver.com, so you can have a look at a demo server; guided tour, which will guide you through the process of using the demo; Amazon Web Services, Ubuntu instructions, DIY, do it yourself; news facility for industry events, that is personal server news; blog, company propaganda, so news about new features of our site and new products and services; Elliot.personalserver.com, so eating my own dog food. I've got to get my own personal server up there. I actually have my own personal server at the moment, but it's not just one server. I've got about 10 servers. And if I had been organized, I could have had one server do the whole lot, but just as it panned out, I've got a heap of servers, so I have more than one personal server. But yeah, jj5.net, which is my domain name, is my personal server, and that inspired me to create this service. But I'm going to create another personal server, and I'm going to have a different approach. Like my jj5.net is sort of a little bit in your face, sort of extreme kind of website, and it upsets or puts off a lot of people. I mean, people who just don't appreciate my my art. Anyway, Elliot.personalserver.com will be a pretty straight bat, G-rated, resume, friends sort of thing. Comment support, so I want to add support for comments on any part of our site. Forums are something to think about that we might do. And I need an Atom feed for the news and the blog features. We decided not to include comments in the Atom feed. So those are things that I'm going to be working on next. But the site's come a long way. I'm very happy with it, and now all I need to do is find my user base and get people coming to the site and signing up for personal server services, which, funnily enough, we haven't discussed very much at all, and maybe I'll leave that for another video to talk about why you would want a personal server and what types of personal servers are. Obviously, that's all in there, but I was just going through the more sort of incidental or incidental components of the site. Anyway, that's it. That's been my life for the last couple of weeks. I'm really happy with the site. I've told you about everything there is to know about it, and if you watch this video to the end, well, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed my website as much as I enjoyed building it. Alright, see ya. Thanks, bye.